Were you able to read the first 5 chapters of the Walk with Ease guidebook? Did you work on the walking contract? How about the walking diary? Remember, you can find these forms at the end of Chapter 3 and in Appendix A of your guidebook. These are just suggested forms. If you have an app on your phone you prefer to use, that works too. Perhaps the app or your phone has a feature where you can receive reminders to walk. Today, I'm going to cover some key points in Chapter 5 of the Walk with Ease guidebook. Please read this chapter if you haven't already done so. I'll cover other parts of this chapter in the next and later sessions. The main topics that I'll cover in this session are the walking progression chart, tips for walking comfortably and safely, good body mechanics and watching out for physical problems, and the 5-step basic walking pattern. The Walk with Ease program is designed for you to go at your own pace, walking safely and comfortably. When you can walk for a total of 10 minutes at a time, including warm-up and cool-down, follow the suggested walking progression chart in your guidebook to gradually build your fitness program. If you already can walk for longer than 10 minutes at a time, enter the chart at your current level and progress accordingly, continuing to add 5 minutes each week if you're able, until you reach 30 to 40 minutes of walking. Always warm up and cool down by walking slowly. There's more information on this topic in Chapter 5 of your guidebook. In Session 4, we talked about tips on what to do when exercise hurts. Some muscle soreness often develops a day or two after you exercise, particularly if you are just beginning your program. Take warm baths after walking. Continue to follow your walking plan, but be sure to stretch gently before and after walking. Here are 8 more tips for handling symptoms, physical needs, or other problems. First off, watch for serious danger signs. If you feel any of the following symptoms, stop immediately. These are danger signs. If they persist, get medical help or call 911. These signs include severe pain, pressure, tightness, or pain in your chest, difficulty with breathing, dizziness, severe trembling, or lightheadedness. Second, watch your exertion level. If you have any of the following symptoms, slow down immediately. These are signs you are overexerting yourself. Cut back on your walking intensity and duration the next time you exercise if you experience cramps or stitches in your side, a very red face, sudden paling or blanching, profuse sweating, facial expression signifying distress, extreme tiredness, fatigue, or joint pain that lasts 2 hours after exercising that is greater than what you had experienced before you started. Third, know your body's normal signs of exercise. These reactions to exercise are normal, and it's okay to continue. These include increased breathing, increased heart rate, increased perspiration, and muscle soreness. Here's something we've been hearing since we were young. Empty your bladder before you go. Always empty your bladder before exercising. If you frequently have to go to the bathroom or experience the common dilemma of leaking, read the suggestions in Chapter 4 of your guidebook. Make sure to drink plenty of fluids. Most people should drink plenty of fluids after each workout, whether you feel thirsty or not. Water is essential to satisfy your body's need for fluid, especially when you perspire. If it's very hot, or you know you're going to be walking for a long time, you might want to take along a water bottle in a fanny pack or backpack. Be especially aware of drinking enough water when you walk in humid weather, which we tend to get around here, since in humid weather you are less conscious of the fluid loss. Another concern is menstruation. It is perfectly safe to exercise while menstruating. In fact, Many women find that exercise helps reduce cramps or other uncomfortable menstrual symptoms. Plan for contingencies. If you are unable to walk during one of your planned times because of weather or emergencies, that's okay, but immediately decide when you will schedule the next session. And lastly, pace yourself. Remember that symptoms of arthritis come and go. Exercise that seems easy one day may seem to be too hard the next. When this happens, cut back temporarily and then return to your regular program when you can. Good body mechanics are efficient movements that produce the least stress on your body and reduce the likelihood of injuries or problems. From your head to your toes, here are some tips to keep your body moving well. Keep your head up. Don't jut your head forward or lead with your chin. An ache in your lower back after walking often is the result of tilting your shoulders forward or letting your buttocks stick out. Periodically, think about your shoulders to be sure they are relaxed and down, not hunched. If you are hunching, lift up your rib cage and do a few backward shoulder circles to relax your shoulders. Slumping puts pressure on your back and keeps you from breathing as deeply as you might. Breathe deeply from your lungs and diaphragm. Avoid shallow breathing with only your upper lungs. Tighten your stomach muscles lightly to maintain good back support. Avoid a rocking the baby elbow whipping motion if you can. Swing your arms naturally and easily at your sides, with your arms moving opposite to your legs. That means your right arm swings forward as you step with your left leg. Then your left leg swings forward as you step with your right leg. Don't clench your fists. Just hold your hands naturally. If you have a tendency to clench, imagine you have fragile raw eggs in your hands as you swing your arms naturally. If your hair or hat bounces up and down when you walk, it's the good indication that you are overstriding. Overstriding wastes energy and increases impact on your hips, knees, and feet. Especially avoid the natural tendency to take longer strides as you become more fit, or when it's a beautiful day or you just feel great. Take regular, natural steps that come comfortable with your tempo. I've been encouraging you to always do a warm-up, stretch, walk, cool down, and a final stretch afterwards. These 5 activities are actually called the 5-step basic walking pattern. I'm going to describe these activities in more detail because it's important that you follow this pattern. Appendix B of the guidebook contains the approved stretching and exercises that are part of the pattern. So step 1, warm up. This step should take 3 to 5 minutes. Warming up is very important before active exercise. It prepares you physically by warming up muscles and preparing you for exercise, elevating temperature, and increasing blood flow. Warming up also prepares you mentally by helping you focus and get energized for the moderate walk to come. To warm up, all you need to do is stroll or walk at a slow pace for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alternatively, you can march in place or walk around your house for the warm-up time. Step 2, gently stretch. This step should take 4 to 5 minutes. Doing leg and body stretches will help prevent shin pain, sore muscles, and other injuries, especially as you go for longer walks. Be sure to do each stretch with both your right and left sides. Hold each stretch for 30 seconds on each side. Remember, do not bounce and do not hold your breath. Step 3 is the walk. After steps 1 and 2, you're ready for the walk. Pick an amount of time that you want to walk. This step will vary depending on your walking capacity. It may be 5 to 30 minutes or more. This is the cardiovascular part of your walk. Please follow these guidelines when walking. Gradually pick up your pace until you're walking at a moderate pace. And walk as if you're going somewhere. Walk as if you've got somewhere to go. Gradually increase your time by following the suggested walking progression chart in Chapter 5 as a guideline. Use the talk test to monitor yourself. Remember, you should still be able to carry on a conversation, even when walking at a fast pace. Pay attention to your body mechanics. What we just talked about, watch for that overstriding. Check your posture. Step 4. The fourth step is the cool down. This step should take about 3 to 5 minutes. At the end of your walk, slow your pace to a stroll until your heart rate has returned to your pre-walk level. Please don't skip this step, no matter how hurried you might be. A gradual cool down allows your body to downshift, letting your heart rate lower gradually and prevents your blood from pooling in your legs, which can cause lightheadedness, dizziness, or even fainting. To cool down, gradually slow your walk pace to a stroll during the last 3 to 5 minutes of your walk. You should be at no more than a fairly light intensity level. Step 5. Gently stretch again. The fifth and final step of the 5-step walking pattern should take 7 to 9 minutes. This happens to be the most neglected part of a good walking program. Stretching after exercise helps you prevent soreness. It increases flexibility and helps to maintain a range of motion. Repeat the same stretches you did during the warm-up, but hold each stretch for 45 seconds on each side. And remember, do not bounce or hold your breath. Appendix B of your guidebook has exercise directions and pictures. Ideally, go through the 5-step basic walking pattern each time you walk. If you walk several times a day and your time is limited, stretch before and after walking at least one time. The first time you walk during the day might make the most sense. I encourage you to read Chapter 5 if you haven't already done so. I will cover more information from that chapter in the next session.